Hey everybody, Larkin Green with FPD. Today we're going to talk about two devices that really help with adhesive work, something that you should probably have in your toolbox. One is from the construction industry, and that's a moisture meter, and the other one might be from your kitchen, which is a thermometer. So let's take a look at these a little bit closer. Alright, first we're going to take a look at moisture meters. Moisture meters detect moisture in a substrate, in our case the hoof wall or the sole and frog. They detect the percentage of moisture in whatever it touches, and so they're fairly simple devices. They range between $30 and $60, so they're not really cheap, but they should last a long time. This one is one that I used for years and years, and it finally gave it up, so I had to buy a new one, and this model wasn't available, so I had to go with a more expensive model. And this one detects moisture, has a sensor in here, but the ones that I want are these prongs. So basically you put these prongs against whatever you want to detect moisture in, and it'll tell you how much moisture is in that. So these are quite sharp. They're not as sharp as a needle, but they're a lot sharper than a nail, and so you got to be a little bit careful because these are meant to actually penetrate like lumber and paint and drywall joint compound. So for our purposes, if you put this on, a human hand, you'll get somewhere in the low 20% moisture range, and it's similar with a horse's hoof. Generally, it's between 20 and 30%. And so what we're trying to do is get that down to under 10% and preferably down into low single digits if we want to do adhesive work and have it last. So there are a number of settings on this particular one, but it still works in the same basic way that the more basic models work. Alright. Now this model is the high-tech version, and this uses an app like everything else. It uses a phone app, and this plugs into the phone, but this works the same way. It's got two little prongs on it, so it is put on whatever surface you want to detect, and then you have to choose the correct device in this app. So this is a Ryobi app that has a lot of different devices, but the critical thing about this is, I bought it because it was high-tech, and I thought it was going to be great, but the problem is this takes two hands to operate, and that's really inconvenient when you're it's okay when you're under a horse, but if you've got a horse where you're trying to hold the foot with one hand and operate this with the other, it's not going to work too well. So a one-handed device is actually the best thing, and this model I think is still available, but as far as these are concerned, you probably want to buy the cheapest one you can find that is one-handed operation, and that's really all you need. Alright, so let's take a look at thermometers. Thermometers, we have a similar situation. We've got the digital laser model, where basically you just point the red dot at whatever you want to measure, and it'll give you a temperature reading. So it seems like it's accurate, high-tech. However, adhesives produce their heat cycle in sort of in waves, and so it's not always consistent, and so you can get some inaccurate readings with this type of device. What's better is actually the one that comes from your kitchen. So this is a thermometer that actually you put in direct contact with something, and it'll give you an accurate reading as to temperature, and you can do it with Celsius or Fahrenheit, but this will tell you accurately what the temperature of the adhesive is, and you can actually time and run through the entire cycle to figure out how long it's generating heat, not just necessarily the peak temperature. So with both of these devices, sometimes low-tech is actually better. So moisture meters and thermometers can really enhance your toolkit when it comes to doing adhesive work. It just gives you more information. Anyway, that's how I do it. Now you go do it your way.